The longest artery in the human body is the aorta. Tanks don't bleed. The first primates appeared on Earth around 65 million years ago, but they weren't as cute as they are now. Charles Osborne of Othon, Iowa hiccuped every second and a half for 69 years. Tanks never have to worry about gingivitis. The largest carnivore is the polar bear. The smallest is the dwarf weasel. If they went one-on-one, who do you think would win? Tanks are not really cat people. We're more dog people. Seals are also called pinnipeds. Contrary to popular belief, the bat is not a rodent. Ostrich eggs are much larger than chicken eggs. Thanks for asking. Extracting venom from a poisonous snake is called milking a snake. Be careful, though. This venom is seldom pasteurized. The brightest star from a human perspective is Sirius A, a mere 8.64 light years away. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. The Pacific Ocean gets the prize for the largest ocean on Earth. Its average depth is 12,925 feet. The Arctic Ocean is the smallest. Thanks for asking. Did you ask? The longest rivers in the world are the Nile and the Amazon. Brazil is home to the world's largest swamp. How proud they must be. If your hobby is river rafting, I don't recommend a vacation in Death Valley. Texas had the most recorded tornadoes in 1 year, 232 in 1967. The NOVA laser at the Lawrence Livermore Laboratory is the most powerful laser in the world, producing laser pulses that can be beamed to a target the size of a grain of sand in a microsecond. In that moment, its power is 200 times greater than the total output of all the electrical generators in the United States. The laser itself is 300 feet long and about 3 stories high. I want one. The United States had roughly 35 million cellular phone subscribers at the end of 1995. Don't phone and drive. That can be dangerous. Sweden had 229 subscribers per 1,000 people. At least they drive Volvos, a very safe automobile. The Imperial Palace in Beijing covers 178 acres. The Golden Gate Bridge has the world's tallest bridge towers. Tanks don't shave, though we are rather fond of aftershave lotion. The world's oldest mummy, called the Spirit Caveman, is 9,400 years old and is housed at the Nevada State Museum. Experts believe he died of a broken heart after losing at video poker. Tank humor. You can't clone a robot, but then again, you don't need to. If your robot breaks, just make another one. The heaviest baby ever born to a normal-sized mother was a boy weighing 22 pounds, 8 ounces in Italy, September 1955. The tallest man in medical history was Robert Wadlow, a.k.a. the Alton Giant. At age 10, he was 6 feet 5 inches tall. At the time of his death in 1940, he was 8 feet 11 inches tall. Adam Rayner is the only person in recorded medical history who began life as a dwarf, 3 feet 10 and a half inches at age 21. Then, after a mysterious growth spurt, he attained a height of 7 feet 8 inches. Tanks do not experience growth spurts. The world's oldest false teeth were discovered in Italy and date from 700 BC. The femur is the longest bone in the human body. On November 26, 1993, Dominic O'Brien of Great Britain memorized at one sighting a random sequence of 40 separate decks of cards, 2,080 cards in all, and made only one mistake. Group O is the most common blood type in the world. The megakaryocyte, a blood cell, is the largest cell. Measuring 200 microns, it produces platelets, which play an important part in blood clotting. Tanks don't clot. The smallest cells in the human body are the cerebellum's brain cells. Motor neurons can be as long as 4.5 feet. The highest recorded fever temperature was 115.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The patient survived. Listen to this. In 1927 in Canada, doctors in Ontario operated on a woman who complained of slight abdominal pain. They removed 2,533 objects from her stomach, including 947 bent pins. The most common contagious disease in the world is, of course, the common cold. Tanks never sneeze. The cheetah can achieve speeds of 60 miles per hour. The three-toed sloth can achieve speeds of 6 to 8 feet per minute, 15 if it's in a hurry. Next to humans, fin whales are believed to be the longest-lived animals in the world with a maximum lifespan of 100 years. Blue whales can produce tones of 188 decibels, making them the loudest animals in the world. The fastest recorded speed for a marsupial is 40 miles per hour by an eastern gray kangaroo. The male howler monkey is the loudest land animal. Its howl has been described as a cross between a bark and a bray. It can be heard 3 miles away. The rufous mouse lemur is the smallest primate in the world, excluding tree shrews. And believe me, we should exclude tree shrews. A painting of Elvis Presley was completed by students of Savannah College of Art and Design and local community members in Tybee Island, Georgia on April 8, 1975. It measured 76,726 square feet, making it the largest painting in the world, the Elvis of paintings. The oldest museum in the world is the Ashmolean in Oxford, England, built between 1675 and 1685 and named for the collector Elias Ashmole. The world's most common language? Chinese. The longest word in the Oxford English Dictionary is pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis, supposedly a lung disease caused by the inhalation of silica dust. The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck was on the New York Times bestseller list for over 600 weeks. The world's top-selling fiction author is Agatha Christie. Her 78 crime novels have sold around 2 billion copies in 44 languages. The most personal Christmas card sent by an individual is believed to be 62,824 sent by Werner Erhard in San Francisco in 1975. More people read newspapers in Sweden than any other country in the world. The highest circulation daily newspaper in the U.S. is the Wall Street Journal. The world's highest circulation periodical, TV Guide. Two of the so-called three tenors are Placido Domingo and Luciano Pavarotti. Who is the third? Jose Carreras. On October 23, 1995, Def Leppard played concerts on 3 separate continents. The first began at 12:23 a.m. in Morocco. Then they flew to London for their second, ending their tour in Vancouver that night at 11:33 p.m. Rock on, jet-lagged dudes. Baywatch is the most popular television program in the world. Bing Crosby's version of Irving Berlin's White Christmas remains the greatest seller of any photograph record to date. Does anybody even buy photograph records anymore? Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd was on the Billboard chart for 741 weeks. Hamlet is the longest of Shakespeare's plays. San Bernardino is the largest county in the lower 48 states of the United States. Delaware only has 3 counties. The most hands shaken by a public figure at an official function was 8,513 by President Theodore Roosevelt. Joseph Stalin holds the world's record for the most statues erected to himself. During the Stalin era, approximately 6,000 statues to him were built. Tanks don't get statues. The world's most expensive pen costs $121,000. The longest paperclip chain was 9.31 miles long. The largest donut ever made weighed 3,739 pounds. It was a jelly donut. I don't know if this weight included those little jimmies or sprinkles. Cal Ripken Jr. was awarded in 1995 for his achievement of having shown up for 2,131 consecutive baseball games. His nickname is the Iron Man. I suspect he's not really made of iron, however. By the way, tanks can't play baseball. A house mouse is ready to breed when it's just over a month old. If it doesn't live inside an exoskeleton, it's not an insect. Among frogs and toads, the female is usually the larger. A cord of wood can provide 7.5 million toothpicks. Mouse comes from a Sanskrit word for thief. Most people put on their left sock first. Tanks have no need for footwear unless they're imperial walkers. 15 people survived the siege at the Alamo. There were women, children, and slaves. The word Jersey is a corruption of Caesar. I've heard, by the way, that Caesar salad are quite tasty. I wouldn't know myself. At any one time, there are 3 times as many grown-ups as children at Disneyland. Grasshoppers have white blood. Many of them are also vampires. More cars are stolen every year in the United States than are manufactured in the Soviet Union. Even if you're eating lunch in a hurry, 4 bites per second is about as fast as you can chew. Moths fly at night, butterflies by day. Here's a tiny fact. Possums are immune to rattlesnake, copperhead, and cottonmouth venom. When a one-car couple gets divorced, the wife generally gets the car. Cucumbers can get tumors. It's very difficult to get doctors interested in their condition, however. Flying fish don't flap. Scientists have performed brain surgery on cockroaches. Why? In the name of all that's holy, why? Our word pal comes from Romany, the gypsy language. The Romany word fal meant clan brother. Thanks for asking. The bullfight cheer Olé dates back to the years when Spain was under Islamic rule. Olé is a corruption of Allah. The Hollywood Oscar weighs 6 pounds, 12 ounces. The first 2 female FBI agents were a nun and a former Marine. More than half the people in Nevada live within 50 miles of Las Vegas. And geez, wouldn't you? White Castle Hamburger started in 1922 as the oldest fast food hamburger chain in the United States. The Japanese national anthem only has 4 lines. Gorillas go to bed around 6 p.m. 99% of the universe is nothing. Baboons will chew tobacco if you let them. The Corvette is 19 times more likely to be stolen than the average car. The first subway in America was in Boston. It's said that chess is the only game that doesn't have an element of chance. Fear of dogs is called cynophobia. The emperor penguin can't fly, doesn't sing, and can't build a nest. Stupid bird. The housefly hums in the key of F. Who was the most famous female impersonator of all time? Lassie, of course. Here's some advice for you. Never sneak up on a platypus. Did you know it's illegal to buy chewing gum in Albania? When aroused, a Texas horned toad can squirt blood from its eyes. Nobody knows exactly how many islands there are in the Philippines. 1 out of every 10 paper clips in the United States is bought by the government. America goes through 5 tons of aspirin a day. The glue on Israeli postage stamps is kosher. Do sports really build character? The first person to refuse an Oscar was George Bernard Shaw in 1938. Cats are not mentioned in the Bible. It's against the rules of the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association to stick your thumb up the nose of a steer. Why would you want to? The frogfish of Asia can live out of water for days. The oldest known necktie was worn by a woman, neatly knotted in stone on the statue of a Cretan girl created 3,500 years ago. The deck of cards contains 52 cards. Their names are Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, which add up to exactly 52 letters. Spooky, isn't it? The opossum shrimp has eyes in its tail. The heart of a shark still beats strongly hours after its removal from the body. Chickens are actually fast vegetables. The gecko is called a gecko because the noise it makes when it croaks is gecko. Tanks do not croak. We make loud grinding noises. The most popular dessert in ancient Rome was a sweet onion. The musk ox is not an ox. The sea angel is a snail with wings. Here's some voicemail I got from a very special little girl. Gestures are kind of testy, aren't they? The oldest dog on record was an Australian cattle dog named Bluey, who worked for nearly 20 years and was finally put to sleep at the age of 29 years and 5 months. Bye-bye, Bluey. The Persian is the most popular cat breed in the United States. More people die of snake bites in Sri Lanka than any other comparable area in the world. Over 800 people are killed there annually. 95% of the bites are caused by the krait, the cobra, and Russell's viper. Personally, I think somebody ought to take that viper away from Russell, don't you? The black mamba is the fastest snake in the world, achieving speeds of 12 miles per hour over short bursts on level ground. The poison arrow frogs of South and Central America are the most poisonous animals in the world. They secrete toxins through their skin. The Komodo dragon is the world's largest lizard. A goldfish named Fred, owned by A.R. Wilson of Worthing, England, died on August 1st, 1980, at 41 years of age. The stonefish is the most poisonous fish in the world. The largest spider? The Goliath bird-eating spider. A 25-year lifespan is not unusual for bird-eating spiders. How can you tell when a snail is asleep? I don't know, just asking. The Stegosaurus was a dinosaur that measured up to 30 feet long. Its brain, however, weighed only 2.5 ounces. That was one stupid dinosaur. A creosote plant in southwestern California, nicknamed King Clone, is estimated to be 11,700 years old. Of the 61 satellites in the solar system, 18 belong to Saturn. Australia is the world's smallest continent. The most extensive cave system in the world is Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. Its total mapped length is 350 miles. The Sahara is the world's largest desert. On July 4th, 1995, 38 people were struck by lightning in Castalia, North Carolina. Amazingly, they all survived. The hottest burning substance is carbon subnitride. Under certain conditions, its flame can reach 9,010 degrees Fahrenheit. London has the largest public transportation system in the world, covering 244 miles of route. KLM was founded in 1919, making it the world's oldest airline. Nick Vermeulen has a collection of 2,112 air sickness bags from 470 different airlines.